President Biden pardoned his son Hunter, issuing a, quote, full and unconditional pardon to his son. It was during my interview with the president in Normandy in June, I pressed the president on this very issue. The president told me he would not pardon Hunter. But last night he did, issuing a statement saying he believes his son was selectively and unfairly prosecuted, writing, no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he's my son, and that is wrong. Tonight, Republicans and many Democrats blasting the move, President-elect Trump saying the pardon itself is an abuse and miscarriage of justice. ABC's chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce leading us off tonight.
Tonight, the fallout from President Biden's stunning reversal, issuing a full and unconditional pardon of his son Hunter, something for months the president insisted he would not do. Emphatic when David pressed him in June.
Will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
But now, just weeks before President-elect Donald Trump is set to return to the White House, the president saying Hunter was selectively and unfairly prosecuted. The Biden family, we've learned, discussed the possibility of a pardon while spending the Thanksgiving holiday together in Nantucket. The president reaching his final decision Sunday, making it official just hours later. Writing in a statement, it is clear that Hunter was treated differently. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. Adding there is no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. Jill Biden, who is often seen in the courtroom supporting her son, today backing her husband. Hunter Biden was convicted in June on federal charges for lying on a gun form, and in September he pleaded guilty in a last-minute deal to 9 tax-related charges, accused of avoiding paying $1.4 million in taxes while living lavishly, taxes he had since paid back. He was scheduled to be sentenced later this month in each case, potentially facing more than a decade in prison.
It's a very tough argument to make that if he wasn't Hunter Biden, he would have been charged with this gun crime. One gun, not used in a crime, person has no criminal record.
But now he's received a sweeping pardon, covering not just those charges, but any uncharged crimes between 2014 and 2024. For months, the president tried to avoid any appearance of interfering with his son's cases.
I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
But now saying, here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice. Adding, I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. Trump has vowed retribution against his political opponents and for years attacked Hunter and the Biden family. His team tonight saying President Biden's decision bolsters their case that the Justice Department has been weaponized. Trump posting that the pardon was an abuse and miscarriage of justice. And it's not just Republicans on the Hill tonight. Some Democrats questioning the president's move to pardon his own son.
I expect all presidents to make sure that justice is carried out independently. And, I wish the president kept his word.
Despite his repeated promises not to issue this pardon, clearly the charges against his son continue to weigh heavily on the president. And tonight, the White House concedes that Donald Trump was a factor here, that the president was concerned that he wouldn't let up.
Hello, welcome to episode 116 of Just My Opinion. And this one I'm entitling Presidential Pardon. Due to the recent decision made by President Joe Biden to pardon his son. After recently in months repeatedly saying that he wouldn't interfere in the legal issues that his son faced, that he would stand by whatever the justice system decided to do, whether it was guilt or innocence. He said he would allow the justice system to run this course, and he would stand by whatever decision that they made. Now, personally, maybe he believed that in his heart at the time, but that's your child. And a father's love and a parent's love come in effect when that type of thing is going on. Because who out there wouldn't go to the bat and raise hell or high water that they can get their child and secure their child freedom? Who? Tell me. Did this child F up? Yes. But if you have the power within you to stop such things from happening, you're going to do it. Hunter Biden, who was charged with lying on a gun application and also failure to pay taxes, which he has recently paid back. He could have faced up to 25 years in prison, all due as a first-time offender. He was more likely and to get a far lesser sentence, to maybe to avoid prison entirely. Him being a first-time felon, first-time convicted person, he would have most likely not faced the 25 years if he would have faced prison at all. But if you as a father have the type of authority to guarantee that your child wouldn't go to prison, would you use it? I can and I will say this. Forget the fact that he's the president. He's the president of the United States, the leader of the free world. Forget that. Forget all that. Put all that aside and think about if you was in the same place. Would you allow or let your child face a potential prison sentence? I know justice is blind and everybody's supposed to be judged fairly, and the process should be judged fairly. But would you allow your child to go to prison? Or would you take the powers that was given to you by the Constitution of the United States to your child avoiding prison altogether? That's not, if 90% of y'all say that you have to do to change it, I agree. I'm not going to argue that with you. Because if it was me, and it was my son facing that time, I would have did everything in my power and everything possible to stop it. Because a love for a child supersedes your title, your job. Love for your child should only come second to one thing: your love for God. It's go God, mother, and child. Those are the top three things that I love in my life more than anything. more than money, more than my personal possessions, material things. God, mother, child. There's backlash from both sides of the aisle, both Republican and Democrat. Said, well, he circumvented the law, he used his powers. It was a conflict of interest because he used his powers to free his own son and to clear his son of criminal charges. I like several Republicans, senators, and congressmen saying, if it was my child, I would have did it too. But one senator said something that makes sense. He said, if you're going to pardon your son, pardon Donald Trump. It kind of evened it out. But I agree with President Biden. I think his love for his child took precedence over everything. Over him being the president, him being the leader of the free world. This is this man's only surviving son. God bless his other son, Bo. He fortunately passed on due to brain cancer. He's an elderly man and he's holding on to a family he do have left. All the backlash and the people saying, well, he did wrong. He didn't let justice take place. Who among you, once again, will let justice take place? Who among you wouldn't done what this man did? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. I would have did what I had to do to save my child. And I would have lived with the backlash, the consequences, anything else. That's simple. Like, share, and subscribe. I want to give a shout out to Saeed Aboud Hamid. If you want to get in contact with him for any beats or any musical stuff, Saeed Aboud Hamid, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out to my man Chrissy. Shout out to my girl Naja. Thanks, like, share, and subscribe.